Hello, welcome back to Monday, April 12th. And I know it's April 12th because I said May 12th in the last video and then I figured it out. Big brain. So today what I wanted to go over was the Optical Illusion Lab, which is going to be our lab for the digital side of our cohort A, cohort B thing in the final week that cohort is even happening for us. Next week, we'll be back in person. So let me show you. We are in Unit 6 for the human body. We are in week number 5 right here. And now what we're going to look at is the Optical Illusion Lab right down here. You'll notice I have it marked with Digital Day. So if this is your Digital Day lab, well then, this is a great one to work on. It's easy. It's quick. Let me show you. All right, so number 43. How are your senses sometimes fooled? It's labeled the Optical Illusion Lab, same lab. All right, so you read through here, you look down here. What is an illusion? What is an optical illusion? Well, you'll find both of those up here in this little encircled, surrounded, bordered paragraph. What is a sense? I'll help you out with a sense. What are the 5 senses? We have sight, taste, hearing, touch, and smell. Those are our senses. What are they? Technically, they are the nerves that send the signals to your brain so that your brain can understand what the hell is going on around it. The materials you'll need, most of these really aren't going to be that important, especially if you're using Cami. But let me show you. All right, so what it wants you to do, and I'm going to skip ahead for just a moment to help clarify it, is really this table, right? All of these first things, all the way up through part F right here, are all going to go into this table. It wants to know, number 1, what do you see? That's the appears column right here. And then what's really there? Let me give you an example with the first one. All right, so figure 1 is right here. It says examine figure 1 for a white triangle. Record in table 1 on page 127 if you see it. So do you see a white triangle in this picture here? Most people would say, yeah, I see one, it's right about there. Looks kind of like a triangle. So then you'd come down here. What appears? Triangle. It said, mark here if you see it. Yes, we do. Now, the better question is for the second column. It says, is there really a white triangle there? Is there really a white triangle in that spot or in this spot? No, there isn't. That shape does not exist there. It's missing points, and our brain says, oh, there's a shape there. There isn't. It's just fooling us into thinking that there is. So let me come down. Really, is there? No. So then number 2, bent line. You're going to take a look at these two and you're going to try to determine, is the line that's passing through figure 2 right over here, is that line straight and it's one continuous line, or is it separated? Is it bent? And then you're going to mark it down here for what it looks like compared to what it really is. All right, part C. The paper fold. Don't bother with this one. It really doesn't work well, so we are just going to ignore the paper fold. The flower. There go the lights again. It wants you to color in the flower. It wants you to color in the center of it red and the petals of it yellow. So, we can do that. Doesn't need to be perfect, as always. You'll color in each of these. All right, then it wants you to stare at it for 30 seconds. I'm not going to stare at it for 30 seconds, but stare at it, just keep your eyes right on it, and then look at a plain white surface and see, do you see an after image? Do you get some other image of that flower on that other surface? Record that here. The cylinders. Here they are. Which one appears biggest, C, B, or A? Record your answer in table 1. So if you look at this, you're like, oh, C looks huge. You come down here and you'd say C. That's not a great choice, Eric. C. And then it wants you to use something to see how big are they, which you could literally just use your finger. Just put your finger up on the screen, see how big it is, and then compare that through all of them. Which one is the biggest? Were you correct? Record your answer right here. Finally, the cube down here. Stare at the cube, looking at number 1 right over here. Now, they say for 1 minute. You usually don't need 1 minute. While you're looking at number 1 right there, the idea is they kind of want to see, does the number 1 switch between being a back wall or a front wall? Do you see this cube feel like sometimes it's a box coming towards you and sometimes it's a box leaning away from you based on the three-dimensionality of it? Like, does the tilt change? Does the way that you're perceiving the box change? And you're just going to record that in table 1. Then we're down to the second part. Figure 7, it wants to know, what do you see when you look at this diagram? Look a second time. Do you see anything different? Now, this is a pretty famous one. You can find the answers for it. But I'll tell you, most people will see a face, kind of like a cartoony face when they look at it, or they see a girl. So keep that in mind while you're looking at it, and it'll probably be more clear. Down here, this next one. What do you see when the face is looking this way? Well, most people see a duck. But then what about if you consider the face is looking that way? Does the image change for you? Number 6 is looking at this figure 9. What do you see there? Do you see a cup? Like some sort of fancy chalice? And then do you see something different? Now, part H, this is, I think, the most important part. I want you to try to make an optical illusion. To make one of these women look bigger or taller than the other one. It has to be an optical illusion. Don't change the girls. That's besides the point. Change the background. Change the scenery. Change the surroundings. That's why it's blank. So you can draw this stuff in to try to make one of them look bigger than the other one. And if you don't know how, and you say, I have no idea, then you haven't paid attention to the lab. 3 questions. Which of the illusions in this activity were optical illusions? Go back to this part. That will help answer the whole thing. Number 2, sometimes a driver sees water on a dry highway. You can look this up, look on YouTube for a water illusion, and you'll see it pop up all sorts of illusions of water on the road. Number 3, name some jobs. 3 jobs. Name 3 jobs that people have where they have to be aware of optical illusions. Hint, one of them was answered in the last question. And that's the lab. Pretty simple, really kind of easy, and hopefully a little bit fun. I hope that helps. As always, let me know if there's any other questions. And ladies and gentlemen, have an excellent day.